right, besties. Welcome back to the Best of Yvonne podcast. I'm your host, Yvonne, and your bestie through it all. And for those of you who didn't listen to episode 1, where we talked about the chubby caterpillar transforming into the beautiful butterfly, that's an episode you will not want to miss. But just to let you all know who I am, I truly am your bestie. I want to be that friend that you never had, that sister you never had, that you know what? I just need someone to vent to. I just need someone to hear me out. I am that girl for you. I am your cheerleader. I am your biggest fan. I'm your biggest supporter. I will always reach back and pull you back into the boat. So today I am super excited to talk about one of my absolute favorite topics. And that topic is the power of self-love. Ladies, we lack self-love globally. There's statistics out there that we don't love ourselves as we should. And it does take a lot of work to be able to do this. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that have helped me. I just turned 47, and it literally almost took me 47 years to figure it out. Well, I'm still figuring it out, truly. But I can sit before you here today and tell you I do absolutely love who I am today. And I love who I'm becoming because I'm very intentional about who I'm becoming. I've had a lot of great leaders and great teachers that have shown me how I can become the best of me and love myself truly the way we are designed to be loved and the way we are designed to love. One of my favorite teachers of all times, you guys, and I don't know, maybe you can all relate to this and relate to me here, is Oprah Winfrey. I love that woman. She is like the godmother I never had. I love that woman so much. I look to her for wisdom, for inspiration, for insights. I've listened to her audiobooks, and when she is real about something, she will say, "What I know for sure." And I always tune in and listen because she is speaking from her higher self. And I have learned from her and many other women, as we grow older and more wise, it is a lot easier to love ourselves because I think we shed these false pretenses, or we shed this ego identity that we had in our younger years. And as we become more of the woman that we truly was and are from the very beginning, as we really step into her unapologetically, then we can really find that deep love for ourselves. So I'm going to take you back probably about 2.5 years ago. So maybe, 44 or 45. I just got to this place in my life where I had already been doing the work, but I was like, I wanted to know why we don't love ourselves like we did when we were infants. I want you to think back to either you as a child or being around a newborn. Like, first of all, when a baby comes into this world, it is just the most beautiful, joyous time. My dear friend, a big shout out to Justin Marty from Marty Law Group. He just texted me this morning while I'm at the gym, and he texted me a picture that his newborn son was welcomed into the world. And I'm like, oh my gosh, congratulations. What a beautiful baby. Like, what a beautiful time in Justin's life to welcome his first son. And we remember these moments like for the rest of our lives because they're such a beautiful gift. Bringing life is such a gift. But where did that change? Because when we're babies, we love ourselves. When we're little kids, we love ourselves. Like, I thought I was the greatest thing ever, dancing and twirling and singing to the top of my lungs. I didn't know I sounded bad. I just loved to sing. So where in our life did that shift? Did that change? And I'm going to share a few books with you that I absolutely love that have helped me change my life. And one of those books is The 4 Agreements. And I've learned over time that we tend to take on people's judgments, people's perceptions, people's ideas of us, and then we carry these false labels, right? So imagine just being overwhelmed with all these labels stuck to you, which these labels were not ever yours to begin with. These were labels that maybe someone in your community or in your church or in your school or in your neighborhood, they are making these judgments of you based on their perception, their ideas, their self-talk, and their self-image. And they want to put these on you. And if you're not self-aware, and if you don't have that self-love, it's easy to take them and accept them. So if you do get the chance, read the book, The Four Agreements. It's one of my favorites. But on this journey that I've been going on and these books that I've been reading and discovering, if a baby can love themselves, then we should be loving ourselves and loving ourselves even more because we have years of experience. We have years of relationships. We have years of life in us that we should be really, really proud of. And even if there's things that you've done in your life, choices, decisions, whatever it is, I want you to look at that as that's just a life lesson. We are all here for experience. We are all here for life lessons, for opportunities, for growth. Not once do I believe that we are ever to be held back, held down by these limiting beliefs or by these labels. But the human mind and how it works, again, wants to keep us small, wants us to play safe. And so we bring on all of these labels. And I have, for the past several years, been unloading all these labels. Like they're just like these heavy bricks that I've been carrying around for years. And they're invincible to the real world. But to me, they're real, right? When we look in the mirror, what's one of the first things we say to ourselves? And another great book I recommend is How You Speak to Yourself. This book really helped me be consciously aware of my thoughts and the way I speak to myself. And when you love yourself, you speak to yourself with love. So when I'm speaking from the stage, I will ask the audience, what was one of the first things you said to yourself when you looked at yourself in the mirror this morning? And the crowd just erupts into this hysterical laugh that's almost embarrassed. And there was one woman in the audience and she was like, that was horrifying. Like, she said to herself, she didn't dare say out loud or repeat because she was embarrassed that she talks to herself that way. So I want you to think about what you said to yourself this morning when you woke up, because hidden in that message is an underlying truth of how you feel about yourself. And if you truly loved yourself the way we were meant to love ourselves, the way a child loves themselves, do you think that's how you would speak to yourself? Would you tell your best friend, girl, you better go change that outfit because you look horrible? Probably not. So I want you to be mindful of the way you speak to yourself. I want you to be mindful of how do you really view yourself? What is your self-worth? What is your self-image? What is that saying? And what are you projecting out into the world? Because if you want more love in your life, you've got to give more love. Our life truly is a reflection of what's happening internally. So your outside world is a reflection of your internal world. If you self-sabotage, if you overeat, if you loathe yourself, if it's all this negative self-talk and self-sabotage and this ongoing criticism, how do you expect to live the life of your dreams when you're constantly programming yourself with this negative chatter? So I'm going to put in the notes these books that I love that have really helped me. And the other thing, as we mentioned in episode 1, journaling. I want you to journal truly the thoughts in your head. I want you to journal the things you say to yourself every day. And I want you to become more mindful and more aware. And we know that we can't change what we're not aware of. So the more we become aware, the more we go inward and we listen and we do the work, the more likely we are able to change and transform into that butterfly. But if you're looking in the mirror every day and you're saying, damn this chubby caterpillar, right? Like, I'm so fat, I'm so this, I'm so that. You're going to read the book, The Four Agreements, and you're going to learn and realize that you are programming your mind for more of that. Your words are like boomerangs out into the universe. So whatever you speak and you think, you're drawing more of that same energy back to you. So you can do what Mel Robbins does and you see yourself in the mirror, give yourself a high five. To me, it's like, I love you. I love who you're becoming. I literally talk to myself that way because I do love me. I do love who I'm becoming. And I will tell you this, when you truly learn to love yourself, You set boundaries. You let go of unrealistic expectations. You project love, and that love comes right back to you, and it's magnified in abundance. Your life will be overflowing with love, love for everything. And that's the jewelry line we came up with. Love for all humanity. That's who I am, the purple heart. That's who I am. I love you, the listeners, my besties. I love my friends. I love my life. And I say this every morning I go on my walk, and there's one tree on my walk that is on the verge of death. And it just breaks my heart because it's a beautiful old tree that stood there and tested the times of life because it's that old. And it's really one of the only remaining old trees there. And it's on the verge of like giving it up. And so what I do when I go on this walk is I literally place my hand on the trunk of this tree and I infuse this tree with love. I know you might be thinking, this girl's crazy. She's talking woo-woo. But you know what? It has served me right back because life is always giving me love, showing up in love. I am surrounded by love. And I will tell you, you want more peace in your life? You want more bliss in your life? It's love. And those of you that are entrepreneurs in business, it's the people. We don't do business with ourselves. We don't have relationships with just ourselves. This life, this world is people. And why not love the people in your life? Why not love yourself so much that you can give that love and you can radiate love so that your life is abundant, it's joyful, it's blissful, it's peaceful. It's really, really hard to be mad at somebody that's constantly loving on you, right? It's really, really hard to not want to be around somebody that is constantly giving you love and making you feel really, really good. So I just want you to check in with yourself as you journal today. I want you to be mindful of how do you show up in love? How do you express love? Is it uncomfortable for you? Is it hard to even say the words, I love you? I bet you can ask any one of my colleagues in the professional circuit of speaking on stage, and they will tell you, oh, she tells us she loves us all the time. And it's been so fun to have these relationships evolve with my colleagues. And now they tell me that they love me. And that's how it should be. We should be loving each other. And we should be expressing that. Because I guarantee you, all of you listening, everyone out there, we all want love. We all want to feel that love. And I don't know if there's anything better than falling in love. So instead of falling in love with maybe someone, fall in love with yourself first. Fall in love with your life. And that is what we're doing here. I'm teaching you how to fall in love with your life, how to build a relationship with each and every day as it's its own being, its own energy, its own presence, and how you are showing up in that day. Because already it's 11:30 in the morning here in Southern Utah, and I've already had many interactions with individuals at the gym, with colleagues, with meetings on the phone, with my employees. And you know what? It is my responsibility to show up. That's my commitment. That's my intention. That's who I am. That's my brand. Is I show up in love. I show up in joy. I show up in bliss because that's what I want for myself. So I just had this meeting with my team and I told them, we don't do drama. We don't do gossip. We don't do any of that because that is toxic, right? That's that poison that we're putting out. So if we have something we want to talk about, let's be mindful and let's get out of the ego mind into the heart center mind and speak from our hearts. And if you are business owners, if you are leaders, if you have a team that you're leading and you have to have that crucial hard conversation, I challenge you to check in before you have that conversation. Is your intention to come from the mind, from the ego, or is it possible for you to drop into your heart center and give love through this conversation that you need to have, even though it might be a very unpleasant, hard conversation, and try to just exude and radiate love through your message so that the person receiving that can truly get the whole perspective of the message you're trying to send. And if we've not practiced this, it's really, really easy to get caught up in the mind and to create this story that is all false, right? So fear is false evidence that appears real. And oftentimes, if there is a misunderstanding in the workplace or in a relationship in your life, we tend to create this narrative around what we believe is happening. And those narratives come from past experiences. And we have to really be intentional and be mindful to try to consider the other person's perspective and the other person's point of view as to how they perceive this. But oftentimes, relationships will be broken up because of assumptions and expectations that are not clearly defined. And I always share this message with my coaching clients and with my students and with people in my life. And again, it stems back from the 4 agreements that if you want to value relationships in your life, speak and treat those relationships from a heart-centered place and try not to make assumptions, because assumptions will run away with you. They will get your mind going and it will start to grow into something that is, I guarantee you, not a beautiful, positive situation. And if you have an expectation, you're going to end up having this self-misery, this self-unpleasantness, because if you didn't explain to the individual of the expectation that you had, then oftentimes you're the one that's upset and frustrated and disappointed. And the other person is completely unaware that you even had this expectation in the first place. So before we have those hard conversations, let's get into our heart space, into our heart center, and let's visually imagine sending love through this conversation so that the other person can perceive and understand where you're coming from. Because relationships are what makes life beautiful. And if they're hard and they're challenging, I question that you work on that. Work on maybe trying this new approach of going into your heart space and to getting a different perspective. But truly, everything in your life is a reflection of your thoughts and of your current mindset. And so if you do need to give yourself a little bit of love, then do it. Go inward, do the work, get to know yourself, and get in tune to that younger you, that one that loved themselves, that thought they were the greatest thing. And I think that's how we should talk to ourselves and talk about ourselves. Like, why is it such a bad thing to brag about ourselves? I think we should, in a loving, respectful way, I think we should think we're pretty great, because we are pretty great. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, but this is a really, really rare opportunity, and we should be living it full out. We should be loving full out. We should be opening our heart center and radiating love. So I'm going to give you this little visual. If you're as old as I am, in your late 40s, and you grew up watching the Care Bears, and they would grip the little arms together and they would do a Care Bear stare when they'd have to get rid of the bad guys or the evil guys. Like, I want you to think of your heart center, your chakra, as it being open, and it's radiating this beautiful magenta, pink energy. And you're just pushing and like spreading this beautiful energy out into the world. And I promise you, you're going to see your life change. You're going to see the relationships in your life change. You're going to have more beautiful interactions with other beings, because you know what? We communicate more subconsciously than we do verbally. So your energy, your mind, you think no one can read your mind? They can read your energy. We feel energy. We call it a vibe. I feel a bad vibration, or I feel a bad vibe when I'm around this person, or I love this person. I love their energy. They just are a high vibe person. That vibe, that vibration is our collective thoughts, our collective feelings. And so if you can open your heart center and you can radiate and just visualize this beautiful pink energy exuding from you, flowing from you, out into the world, out into your neighborhood, out into your home, around your children, around your friends, around your coworkers, I promise you they're going to pick up on it. And you're going to start to change. You're going to start looking different to people, and you're going to start attracting different people into your life. I think love is the greatest thing. I actually have a heart tattooed on my left wrist as a reminder I am love. I want to give love, and I want others to feel the love I have for them. So try this today. I want you to journal about it. I want you to be mindful of it. I want you to watch what happens and what changes in your life by first loving yourself, knowing yourself, and then sharing that love. The other thing I really want to point out here is I made up this quote is the more you know yourself, the more you love yourself, the taller you'll stand and the brighter you'll shine. People can't help but notice when you love yourself. And when you do love yourself and you do know yourself, no matter what anyone says about you, no matter what anyone thinks about you, it no longer even affects you. You're not even bothered by it. You're not even fazed by it because you know you. I know myself so well. I work on myself daily. I talk to myself with loving, kindful words and affirmations and intentions. And at the end of the day, nothing matters more than how I view myself, how I love myself, how I show up. Right? This life is for me to experience and share with the world. So I want to be happy with me. I want to be in love with me. I want to be proud of me because all that I fill myself up with will runneth over into everybody else. And I know my intention. My intention is to show up here with love for you, to share with you that I promise you your life will change. And you can be happy every single day of your life, no matter what comes in and out of your life, because you'll gain a bigger perspective and you will love yourself so deeply that your happiness is top priority. We all want love. We all want happiness. We all want to enjoy the days of our lives. And I do believe it is possible for each and every one of you because that's how I live. I've created this completely different life for myself. And it's not about the money. I promise you, money does make a difference. It does allow you to show up and help more people. But if you're not right in your heart space, you're not right in your own self-love, then having more money is not going to make that different for you. Having more money is just an amplifier to who you are. So step in to who you want to be. Practice being her every single day. Love her. Be proud of her. And I promise your whole world will change. I want you happy every day. I want you in love with your life. And I want you to love yourself the way we're meant to love ourselves, the way our higher beings love us, the way our guardian angels love us, the way our creator loves us. It's the most purest love there is. And I know we've all experienced little glimpses of that throughout our lives because that's what keeps us going for more. That's what keeps us wanting more of it in our lives. So I'm going to leave that with you today. We have so many more great episodes coming. And if you're not following me on Instagram at Medical Aesthetic Art Institute or The Best of Yvonne, where I drop in just to say hi, I share with you my life, a day in the life, and I love to give you just little beautiful nuggets throughout your week that keep you inspired and that keep you going between episodes. And if you haven't picked up my book, I know many of you want the book. It is coming. We are doing our soft launch. So you can just email us at hello@thebestofyvonne.com. Let us know that you want a copy of it. But it will be available on Amazon come January 2025. I wanted it ready for the new year, for the new you, for new goals. And there's going to be a lot more greatness coming from The Best of Yvonne. Tune in to the Instagram and just see all the great things that are coming. I'm joining my coach in Nashville. I'm learning how to be on bigger stages and to have more impact because that truly is my goal here, is to impact and inspire 4 million women to step into their fullest potential with self-love, with gratitude, and with the desire to reach back and pull another sister up. So have a beautiful day, my lovelies. And remember, I am here as your bestie. If you need me, DM me because I'm always here for you. Have a beautiful day.